battle. It is always good to have individuals at your side who are fearless, who are passionate, and as we work for the people of the state of Texas, having Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst and Attorney General Greg Abbott at my side has given me great comfort over the course of the years. And I want to say thanks to both of them for their great work. They're steadfast. It is a great pleasure to be here. Dr. Joe and I were just making the observation that this is by far the largest turnout that we've had at one of our pro-life rallies over the course of the years. Thank you. Thank you for coming, expressing your heart, your willingness to fight the good fight. It is awesome to be alongside individuals like Terry Wright, Terry Williams, and Bishop Vasquez. And Bishop, by the way, to your father, a long-time Jones County resident. Thank you, Mr. Vasquez, for your service to our country and for raising a fine and outstanding son. Reverend Thompson, it is an honor to be with you, sir, as we stand on this stage with men and women who understand those biblical stories. When God sent the flood waters, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Only Noah and those on his ark survived. When Jesus entered the desert and was tested by the devil, he fasted for 40 days and he rejected the devil's temptations. When the Israelites went out into the wilderness, they wandered lost for 40 years. Last week, America began its 40th year lost under the rule of Roe versus Wade. It's a tragic time for our nation's own moral wilderness. 4 decades of tragedy that have cost more than 54 million innocent children's lives. More than 1 million more die with every passing year. What must sustain us in times like these is our faith and our fellowship. Sharing the gift of like-minded people who also believe that life is a sacred gift and are willing to work hard in its defense. At gatherings like these, I feel confident that we will someday make abortion truly a thing of the past. It's been a long struggle, even in Texas, where we fought hard for many, many years. We still got a ways to go. We banned the use of tax dollars for abortion procedures in our state. We stood strong in the face of the expected backlash from that decision. But we were proclaiming the truth that protecting the rights of abortion providers and protecting women's health are not the same thing. We've passed laws requiring both parental notification and parental consent to a parent's daughter's abortion. Ensuring that those parents are involved, ready to provide that much needed guidance and advice at the most critical of time for that young woman. In 2011, we passed, and I'm proud to say that I signed, a law that prohibits abortion without the mother first having a sonogram. We believe with all of our hearts that unborn children deserve the respect of recognition before their lives are tragically cut short. We took those steps to help ensure that those making that decision between life and death make the most informed, responsible decision possible. But despite all of those efforts, as many as 80,000 lives are lost to abortion every year in our state. We got a lot more to do. And again, my goal, and the goal of all of us that are gathered here today, is to make abortion at any stage a thing of the past. While Roe versus Wade still prevents us from taking that step, it does allow us to do some things to protect life. If they can show that there is a compelling state interest. And I don't think that there is any issue that better fits that description of compelling state interest than preventing the suffering of our state's unborn. Using the adoption process and community support, we can ensure that each and every child is born to a loving home. That's our goal, and someday we will meet that goal. In the meantime, we're going to be calling for measures to ensure the safety of the women that undergo this procedure. Abortion clinics should be held to the same standards as any other kind of surgical facility in the state of Texas. And we also need to require any physician performing abortions to have admitting privileges to a hospital. These are both matters of common sense, as any patient should have the expectation that facilities being used are up to the proper standards, and that if there is an emergency situation, they can receive the care that they need. Again, the ideal world is one without abortion. Until then, we will continue to pass laws to ensure abortions are as rare as possible under existing law. Devoted Texans all across our state haven't stood by while these new laws were being crafted. And I'm proud to look into the eyes of so many of you who have been on the front lines, from Houston to DFW, all points in between. You were forming organizations. You were founding life centers. You were giving women and the children that they carry a chance of a new life. You help women who might be in desperate circumstances see that there are options, better options than stopping the beating heart of their child. And already, you all, the organizations that you represent, have made a huge difference in the lives of families throughout Texas, spreading information about the options available, helping families realize God's greatest gift, the love of a child. So that is what we mean when we talk about the culture of life in Texas. Thank you all for being here today.